It's the next day. And yeah. So wow, this thing is dusty. It looks like little perspective wise here. Looks like his little brother. This is original Masterpiece 1 with the misaligned parts here, and our with the trailer and our Masterpiece 22. I'm hoping, and they will make the actual trailer for Ultra Magnus. I don't know how it's, the trailer is going to have to do some crazy transforming. I don't even know how they could do it. Because all of this, it all has to just be an outer shell. So it's, they're going to have to remove his arms, and it's just not going to make any sense. But if, somehow in the future they can figure it out, 3D printing, goodbye. This morning I wanted to check back on, and according to the box, I don't know how you're supposed to stick them on the side there, and that's the way the original trailer was. So, yeah, you can see my old YouTube videos, some of my first ones, back in 2007, where I first reviewed the trailer, I think. Yeah. So I went and put Ultra Magnus' trailer back together. I haven't done that, and I couldn't find all the parts. I found one missile here and there, and it's in the closet. Yeah, I haven't done this since, 2008? Or whenever I reviewed this thing. It's one of my oldest videos. And, yeah, I guess comparison. Let's see if we can do that. You guys remember, hey, this is in high definition now. Woohoo! Back then it was on DV camera with really low resolution. So he looks like that. I don't know if this is actually supposed to go on him. I don't think it is, but in 2006. Yeah, so I guess I made this 2008, this video. So if that's what the original trailer is supposed to look like, then it looks like maybe very G1, where he doesn't really move at all. It's just a shell when he gets into it. I don't know if they were thinking about that, but so yeah, the missiles are on the side there, not up front, and yeah, it looks so tiny compared to the big one, like a little tiny baby. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep him in his box. I don't think I'll display him out with the big boys. I left MP-10. I put him back in his box. So get back in your box. I don't know what I've mentioned before. I've made so many videos, so many takes of this. 170, about 170 bucks here in Japan. I think I saw it on Robo Kingdom or Robot Kingdom. I checked the price before I bought them, and I think there was a price drop. I think he's selling for around 150 bucks now, which for $150 for a figure of this quality, or a little bit pricey, but nostalgia, that's also a big factor. I didn't pick up Soundwave. I didn't pick up a lot of the other figures because I didn't really want to. I think even the small cars, the cars that fit on here, like I did pick up Prowl, I think, because I had him when I was a kid. They run for about maybe $60, $70. Not that expensive, but I mean, I guess if it's $60, I mean, that's like the price of a video game, right? But yeah, I don't know. I didn't pick up Soundwave either. Soundwave, I think, was 80, $90. Could have been more. I don't remember. I just didn't feel like it. But Ultra Magnus, I wanted them, so I went ahead and got them. Buyer's remorse, not really when you factor in that I wanted him. Do I think he's the best? Is a masterpiece? What's the level under masterpiece? Tradesman piece or something? What I want to see is the big full size version. I think I've mentioned that already. Probably. I would have liked this to be chrome as well. The molding details on the Kentucky Fried Chicken, I think, are better. So, but this one's more G1 accurate, I think. All of these points have been made, I'm sure. I think what it comes down to is, for me, it's the unique mold. They're not going to have another Transformer like this. Unless they just call it something else. And the nostalgia, so the unique transformation, the unique mold, the nostalgia, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Price, a little bit pricey. Build quality, I think it was okay. It's good. For the, they brought back the die cast, which I really like, so that was good. So that, if it were all plastic like MP-10, then I'd be like, wow, this is a piece of shit for the price. But they brought back the metal, makes it kind of heavy and stuff like that, so I like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for. I wish these rockets would fire. And yeah, I guess some lights. Could we have some lights? That would have been good. And then the price to customize it, that's going to be a little bit pricey. I don't like the non-rotation in the waist. So I think that's due to the die cast. So that's kind of, so it's a figure to be looked at, to be worshipped. Yeah. So that's all one piece right there, which allows for no rotation, which is cool because it's all big fucking chunky heavy piece. But you can see right there that's stressed. Yeah. Rotation at the waist, articulation versus big chunky heavy transformer. Since it's gonna be on the shelf, I'm thinking it's not gonna be moving. I'm not gonna be playing with this, so it's okay. Pose it, maybe you want to pose it on the shelf. It's got little mini stacks. Kind of cute, but I don't know what they say about your stacks. Robots don't have penises, Ruben. Right, I gotcha. I could paint a Robot Adventures Ultra Magnus. Just spray paint it all black and then do all the back there. That'd be cool, but that's $200 for a repaint. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that. There was the other Legends class that I was considering buying. That was $70. A little bit pricey as well, but it's another Ultra Magnus, and so yeah, I think that's a choice for you to make. Do I think it's worth the money if you didn't really like Ultra Magnus? Then no. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think they could have done better. I don't know. It's right now with the economy and stuff like that. That's probably what happened. Just the manufacturing, and so they had to cut a profit. I don't know what the profit margin was. I would rather them do, since mainly collectors are buying this, adults are buying this, fans are buying this, super fans. I'd rather them, hook us up a solid and maybe cut the profit, or keep the price at the same. Make it $200, but give us a really nice figure. Collectors wouldn't mind spending $200-$300, $500. You got the Millennium Falcon. I think that's gonna run like $2,000, and yeah, I wasn't gonna buy that. D'Agostine. So there are people out there that will spend a bunch of money on the thing, but they want quality and they want something nice. So that's the main reason why I don't buy the masterpieces anymore. And I don't know what the profit margin is, and I would rather have a better figure, like the old masterpieces, like big ass fucking heavy. How could this run us? How could Megatrons and stuff like this cost so little when they were sold a couple years ago? What, 10 years ago? But now they're mostly plastic and stuff like that. What was the big change there? That's what I don't like. So, with I guess many manufacturers of 3D printers, the go large or go home may be a good way to go. You can get small printed objects, but it takes a long time to print. You can get larger printed objects with less detail, but it kind of depends on the way you print them, right? So if you want it like that, you could probably get that molding detail. But if you want larger, you can print it. You can print the same thing, but twice the size. It would take longer, but you'd get a big thing. And then you can paint it and customize it and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to the day. Right now we're in some kind of transitional phase where you've got third parties producing these figures. They're modifying the mold, modifying the transformation. I think between the Kentucky Fried Chicken and this one is I think it's the same. Small modifications, but yeah, they're not re-engineering the transformation. So we're gonna get more and more of these third-party companies that are going to be people at home with some time on their hands and re-engineering, redesigning figures and stuff like that, and then printing out molds and stuff, or putting them online. And so that's going to be interesting, and I want to see that. And then I'll throw my hat into the redesign race. I've got to get better with well, first of all, I've got to do a lot of testing and stuff like that. But yeah, so the future looks good for people who like their characters. And I've said this for years now. I don't know how the toy companies are gonna deal with that. They're gonna have individuals producing art. They're gonna have to call it art. With their IP. So yeah, it's going to be the problem is going to be when you start profiting off of that, and the way around that's going to be like I would love to. The way around that would be just to upload the 3D custom drawing of the item that you made. So for example, you want to redesign this component here, all you need to do would be to make sure you have the screw diameter of the screw at the right position, and you can take the thing apart. What will be kind of tricky will be the pin placement, and so there'll have to be some parts where like you'll have to have pins and stuff like that, and some kind of vices to insert the pin. Or you could work around that by building it larger. If you I don't know how, this is going to be a 2-part video at least. Building it larger, printing it out larger, and then having instead of small thin pins, you can go with easy to find screws that you can find at your local hardware store, and you build it big enough so that the small screws are like these super tiny pins. And yeah, then you do that, and then so you're gonna have these large, really large customized or 3D printed figures. Maybe something twice the size of this thing, with better articulation. Instead of having this metal plate here, you'll have it on a hinge, and so you'll get these huge big plastic ABS figures, which will be kind of nice because who doesn't like a big ass fucking toy? I don't like a big ass fucking toy. Well, you're not playing with your toys right. Yeah. $200. How much does a dildo cost? I don't know. I don't have any dildos or a strap-on, but I was in a shop this reminds me. There was a shop in Gotunda a few years ago. I don't know if it's still there. Here in Tokyo. One of the side streets, the back, off the main highway there. And it was an S&M shop. And it was on the second floor, I think near the river. And they had a bunch of like leather masks without any eye holes. And like a wooden or rubber rod thing sticking out of the mouth hole. So somehow you put on this leather mask with a rod sticking out of the mouth hole, orificial area. You imagine what you can do with that. And those things were pretty pricey. So I don't know how often you're going to use your blinded face fucking mask, but yeah, how often are you going to play with this? So, well, Ruben, I use my GIMP sit on my face dildo mask every day. Well, then that's a value at $200. You need to go. Everyone should go buy GIMP fucking sit on my face dildo squat masks. That's not the right name, Reuven. You're not using the right name. And then after you do all the dildo squat face fucking, you go ahead and pick up yourself an Ultra Magnus. I'm just telling you what's going on. I'm just telling you the truth. Trump is a dumbass. Everyone's scared of Bernie Sanders because, he's not the same old. Politician. He's really old, and he's been the same for a long ass time. But that's not to say he's the same as all the other dumbasses. He's been the kooky motherfucker for a long ass time. Alright, guys. I'm going to enjoy this thing. Someone can comment on down there the price of a dildo, strap on, the different varieties. Compare that and the use of a dildo to MP-22. Some price comparisons there. Maybe, I don't know if there's a man dildo, like a fuck a tube or something like that. Fuck a can? Stick your dick in a can. If there's a can, alright, so what you do is you take a can or something like a tin of pop, and you somehow mechanize it. So that's pretty small there. Talking about girth. And you do that. And then you can, for science, we're talking about science here. Maybe you can fuck a beer can for science. Gembe! Alright, guys. I'm going to transform him back, stick him in his box, and leave him there. Nice figure. I'll probably go back to it, research it. If I want to build some kind of real masterpiece. I think it'd be interesting. I should get on the forums, but I hate forums. And refreshing. It's getting less. There's less and less of that amber liquid.